My dear Muslim sisters, I want to begin by saying that I'm honestly disgusted to even have to talk about this. The mere fact that this video needs to be made sickens me. And I say this sincerely. I feel ashamed to be addressing this topic. I really do. Anyone who knows me in real life will know that out of shyness, I tend to avoid speaking on matters like this. It's something that makes me deeply uncomfortable. But despite that, I can't stay silent. Because the truth is, I haven't really seen anyone else discuss such issues in a way in which, well, at least I intend to do so in this video. And such issues needs to be addressed. As a Muslim community, we often avoid discussing taboo topics out of shyness. And look, I get it. Shyness is actually a very noble trait, a trait in which many of us should actually possess. But the danger comes when our silence allows serious problems to grow unchecked. When we shy away from these discussions, when we sweep them under the carpet, when we pretend they don't exist, it doesn't make the problem go away. It only allows it to worsen and spread. And make no mistake, Shaitan is patient. He plays the long game. He exploits every weakness, every hesitation, and every blind spot we create for ourselves. So if we refuse to confront these issues head on, we are only giving him more room to operate. So as uncomfortable as this is, as much as I wish this conversation didn't need to happen, we have to talk about it. Because ignoring it will not protect our sisters. It will only leave them more vulnerable. And let me make one thing clear. The reason I address my Muslim sisters is not because Muslim men don't have their faults. No doubt they do. There are men who manipulate, deceive, lie, exploit, men who lack sincerity, who fail in their responsibilities as protectors, leaders. I'm just saying the obvious. But, my dear sisters, understand this. No man, whether he is a non-Muslim or a Muslim, can have a haram relationship with you without your consent. No man can do anything with you if you don't give him permission. That is why I am speaking directly to you. Because if you refuse to engage, if you refuse to entertain these men, if you refuse to be deceived, then such problems will not even exist in the first place. Because there are two sides to this equation, men and women. If one side does not cooperate, the whole game collapses. What are men going to work with if they just get rejected from the get-go? See? By convincing you to reject the system, to not play along, to not allow yourself to be used, the problem will never occur in the first place. My dear Muslim sisters, I need you to listen carefully. There is a calculated effort to make you lose your faith in Islam, an effort that works from all angles. It is subtle, persistent, and designed to make you believe that abandoning your deen is liberation, that disobeying Allah is empowerment, and that immodesty is enlightenment. But in reality, it is nothing but deception. One of the first tactics that often comes to our mind in how they try to deceive you, sisters, is the attack on your clothing and modesty. One of the first ways they'll try to weaken your faith is through your hijab, your clothing, your sense of modesty. They tell you to take it off, to express yourself, to be free. But free from what? Free from the protection that Allah has given you? Free from the honor and dignity that Islam has placed upon you? They don't want you to be truly free. They want you to conform to their standards. They want you to become just like them, exposed, objectified, and used for their desires. They tell you modesty is oppression, but then they turn around and create a culture where women are judged entirely on their looks. They tell you that covering up is backward, but then they sell modest fashion as a trend when it suits them for materialism. They want you to believe you are missing out when in reality you are holding on to the very thing that protects your dignity. And this leads me to the next tactic that they use, and that is the push for haram relationships. They push you into haram relationships under the disguise of love, understanding. They glorify dating, casual relationships, and intimacy outside of marriage. These things have infected the Muslim community. They tell you it's normal, that you need to explore and find yourself. And when you fall into this trap, they convince you that it's okay. If it's with a Muslim man, don't worry, he'll get on his deen eventually. If it's with a non-Muslim, don't worry, it's fine, he'll take a shahada, don't worry about it. But let's be real, how many of these men are actually sincere in the Islam? How many of them are just saying a few words to make you feel better while they have no intention of praying, fasting, of actually committing to Islam and actually following the deen? Islam is not a token you hand out just to justify your relationship, my sisters. If a man truly values Islam, he would submit to Allah before even approaching you, not just say a few words to get what he wants. Remember that. Which now leads me to one of the main points of the videos, and that is the fetishization of Muslim women. There is a whole nother level to this, my sisters, and perhaps you don't understand to what extent this really goes to, but it's something even more sinister. Muslim women are seen as a fetish, you're seen as a challenge, a mystery to be unraveled, a conquest to be won. Your modesty is not respected, it is preyed upon. You're not valued for who you are. You are objectified for what you represent. Look at how Muslim women are portrayed in certain spaces. You look at the media, the endless propaganda, the social trends, even on such filth like pornography. They are tired of the hypersexualized Western woman, so now they turn to you. Not because they respect you, but because they want to strip you piece by piece. They want to take away your innocence, both physically and metaphorically. They want to remove your hijab, not just from your head, but from your heart and soul. They want to reshape you into something that fits their desires. This is the reality. My dear sisters, do you see what is happening? They are not empowering you. They are using you. They are not liberating you. They are trapping you in a new form of enslavement. Enslavement to their desires, their standards, their culture. True empowerment is not in disobeying Allah. True empowerment is in knowing your worth, knowing your value, and knowing that you don't need to change yourself to fit into a society that doesn't even respect women in the first place. Wake up. My dear sisters, wake up. See through the deception. Recognize the traps being set for you. Hold tightly onto your faith because they are working day and night to take it away from you. Be strong, be firm, and remember your value is not in how much skin you show, how much attention you get, or how well you fit into their world. Your value is in your obedience to Allah, your dignity, and your unwavering faith. Don't let them take that away from you. Because believe me, they are hunting for your innocence. And you know what? Just to go a bit deeper, I'm going to expose stuff that many of you perhaps don't even realize how much of a serious threat this is. There are men out there, predators, who salivate at the thought of taking away your innocence, who crave it, who dream about it. They are tired of the easy woman, of the one night stands, the ones who give themselves up with no effort, no chase, no challenge. That world has become dull for them. Now they want more of a challenge, more of a chase. It's more exciting, more of a thrill. They want you now. You are their target. You are their prey, my Muslim sisters. They see your modesty as a game. They see your hijab as something to be removed, layer by layer, until there is nothing left. They don't respect you. They don't admire your faith. They want to conquer you. Some of them are so obsessed with this desire and lust that if taking the shahada is what it takes to get close to you, they will do it. They will walk into that mosque. They'll say a few words, act the part, just to lower your guard, just to gain access to you. And once they have taken what they want, once they have stripped you of your purity, your dignity, your faith, that's it. Mission accomplished. Many of them leave. And you know what's worse? Some of these men don't even hide it. They brag about it. They talk about how they love the idea of stealing a Muslim woman's innocence, how it excites them, how it gives them a thrill like nothing else. They make you think you're special, that they care, that they respect you, but behind closed doors, you may not realize it, but you're just another trophy to them. And it's Muslim men like me who have to hear such sickening conversations behind the scenes. Sisters, wake up. This is not about love. This is not about understanding different cultures. This is about desire. This is about power. This is about them wanting to strip you of your Islam because your faith is the last thing in this world they don't have control over. And once they get that control, that means everything to them. They tell you to remove your hijab. They tell you to loosen up. They tell you that you're missing out. But what they're really saying is, I want you to be just like the others. I want you to be just as exposed. If you don't expose it to the world, I am going to make sure you expose it to me. Don't fall for it. Don't let them take what's precious from you. Don't let them break you down, make you doubt yourself, make you question your faith. Hold on to your Islam like your life depends on it. Because in the end, it does. It really does. My dear Muslim sisters, wake up. They want you to have relationships outside of marriage, to get involved with men who have no intention of committing to you, just to later beg them to take the shahada as if that will make it all okay. But let me tell you the truth. Many of these men are not serious about Islam. I'm talking specifically about non-Muslim men now. They take the shahada not out of conviction, not because they believe in Allah, but because they know it's a quick way to get what they want. Many of them don't even pray. They'll sell you a lie. And if a man doesn't pray, he has abandoned his religion, as we know. And these same women justify it. Oh, just give him time. This is not just theory. This is real. This is real life. There's real examples. When I was just 16, I saw it happen, even with my own colleagues, non-Muslims. Literally going on Muslim marriage acts, pretending to be a Muslim just to deceive Muslim sisters. I had a colleague, an Ethiopian, who had many Muslim friends. In Ethiopia, there's a lot of Muslims. So he knew about the lingo to pass as one of us. And he tricked a Somali sister into thinking he was a Muslim. She let her guard down, and she committed zina with this former colleague of mine. He loved it. I was disgusted. I couldn't even look at him in his face. Another colleague, back when I was 18, a white middle-aged man, actually married a Muslim sister. And he saw in the workplace another member of staff wearing the abaya, wearing the hijab, and he said, oh, look at her. I wonder what her body looks like under that abaya, under that, hijab of hers. This is how filthy their mind is. It excites them. This is the reality. Many other examples I can say. This will be a longer video if I was to tell you other stories. Don't think this only happens to hijabi sisters though. Even if you don't wear the hijab, the fact that you are still more modest than the average Western woman is enough to make you a target. You're not free from this, my non-hijabi Muslim sisters. Sisters, don't be deceived. You think these men love you, you think they care, but you are being played by a system designed to destroy you. You are being sold a fantasy where love conquers all, where he's making a huge sacrifice by, becoming a Muslim for me. But the reality, this is the shaitan at play. Yes, don't get me wrong, there are genuine reverts who embrace Islam and go on to marry Muslim sisters. May Allah bless them. May Allah bless our revert brothers and sisters. But the difference is clear, since reverts commit to Islam before marriage is even in the picture. This is what you'll find. They don't just take the Shahada because they want a relationship. You will see a clear pattern of commitment, a proven track record of them being dedicated Muslims. Sisters, wake up. Do not let them take your Islam from you. Do not let them, those lustful non-Muslim and Muslim brothers and sisters, take your innocence, your dignity, your faith. Hold on to your Islam with everything you have because they are working overtime to strip it away from you. May Allah protect you all. And the reality is a lot of Muslim sisters give in. Why? Because many of them are not used to being validated. They literally will choose that Tom, Harry or Abdul over Allah and what Allah commands. She'll obey the man, her own desires, bodily inclinations over that which Allah has commanded. That's how weak she is. Many of them have spent their lives seeking approval, love, care, something they may not have received from the male figures in their life, like their fathers or brothers. Now look what that's led to. And no doubt, the men are at fault here as well. 100%. When a woman is deprived of emotional connection, wasn't taught the religion properly, maybe their father, brother prioritized money, when she's not shown love and protection from the men who are supposed to safeguard her, she'll look for it elsewhere. And if that validation comes from a non-Muslim man, many will be willing to compromise their faith to fulfill their desires. Because just a few lovely words, just a little bit of attention is all it takes. Gives them sparks they've never felt before. Many of them were raised in strict households where haram relationships were strictly forbidden. But rather than grounding them in their faith, if anything, it fueled a hunger in some of these Muslim sisters. So when a man comes along and tells them what they've been starved of, you're beautiful, you're different, I love your body, you're special, they've been starved of this, they've never heard of these things before. It overwhelms them once they hear it. They aren't used to it, they crave it, and that craving blinds them to the reality that they are being played. Sisters, recognize this trap before it's too late. Don't let temporary validation lead you to permanent regret. Hold on to your faith before they strip it away from you. Because this is becoming widespread. And the nature behind this is terrifying. How this is becoming increasingly a trend and popular. We're seeing this even through increasing trends of online searches of pornography, including featuring Muslim women wearing hijab. For example, between 2015 and 2018, Germany saw a 140% rise in such requests of hijab pornography. Hungary, 151%. Austria, 195%. Back in 2017. Poland, 207% increase of searches looking at hijabi women, pornography, and this kind of content. This is how filthy they are. A 2022 study published analyzed 50 hijab pornographic videos to understand the portrayal of Muslim women. Right? And I'll show these to you. I don't need to make this up. The findings revealed that women were targets of aggressive acts in all videos. And I don't want to say what kind of actions in particular, but it's filthy. This is how our Muslim sisters are portrayed. And this is the reality. This is what it's done. The non-Muslims, because they've developed that lust. Their own women is too easy for them. They want more of a challenge. Because they also struggle to fulfill that craving reality. A lot of them. What do? They turn towards pornography. And they imagine these non-Muslim women who pretend to be Muslim women and wear the hijab and say some Arabic words. They pretend that's you, my sisters. This is the sexualization of Muslim women in the Western world, in things like pornography, in the media. Research has explored how Muslim women wearing headscarves are represented in the Western world. A study analyzing 15 popular pornographic videos between even as early from 2001 and 2020 found that these portrayals often perpetuate stereotypes and objectify Muslim women. Their headscarves were frequently kept on during these sexual encounters, treating them as part of a costume and reducing the Muslim women to fetish objects. These studies highlight a concerning trend, my sisters, where Muslim women like you, especially those who wear hijabs, are fetishized and objectified in online spaces. And now it's turning into reality. It's no longer online. And we see how the media pushes this narrative. How many times have we seen it in movies, in TV shows, in books? This same tired story being forced down our throats. A young Muslim woman raised in a strict Muslim household, oppressed, sheltered, trapped. Then comes the white boy, the savior, the one who will rescue her from the backwards upbringing. He represents freedom, enlightenment, escape. And so, what happens? She unveils. She removes her hijab, the ultimate symbol of oppression. According to their twisted narrative, she steps into his world, shedding her values, her dignity, her modesty, all for his approval. She becomes deluded. She starts living a double life at school, at work. When she's with him, the hijab is gone. Off she goes, sharing the same bed as this kuffar, as this non-Muslim. She blends in. She becomes what they want her to be. But before she steps back into her home, she quickly puts on her hijab. She wears it, not out of conviction, not out of love for Allah, but out of fear of her parents. And this storyline that I'm giving isn't just fiction. This is a reality, an ongoing reality that is becoming widespread. This is happening everywhere, especially in the West. And what does this tell you? They want to break you, and the reality is they have broken you. Many of them have broken you. They want you to believe your Islam should be something hidden, something to be ashamed of. They want you to think your hijab is a burden, your modesty is outdated, your values are a prison. And who benefits from this? Not you. They do. They love the idea of taking a Muslim woman and making her submit to them. Wake up, my sisters. See through this agenda. They don't want you liberated. They want you defeated. To them, your hijab is like the final level of a game. Something to conquer, to strip away, to prove no woman, not even the most protected, is beyond their reach. They don't love you. They love the idea of corrupting you, of taking something sacred and turning it into something sinful. That's what brings them joy. They are hunters, and you are their ultimate prey. Not because they cherish you, but because they enjoy the chase and the power of taking what was once untouchable. My dear Muslim sister, I need you to see the reality of the world around you. They talk about you, they lust over you, as if your purity is something to conquer, a title to add to their list of conquests. They mock the sacredness of your faith, turning your modesty into a prize for their filthy desires. You, who carry the weight of faith, the one who holds her religion close to her heart, they think they can strip away your dignity, your honor. They've done it with countless others, my sisters. Those who don't care about the sanctity of marriage, but with you it's different. You are not like them. You are not their trophy. Your purity, your commitment to Allah is what they fear, because it's something they'll never understand. Stand tall, my sister, for your strength is in your faith, and no one can take that away from you. No one. That's unless you allow them to. And my sisters, forgive us men, for indeed we have let you down. Forgive us. We are not innocent. Whether it be the Muslim men that lust over you, that lust over your hijab, whether it be the Muslim men, your father, your brothers, who have let you down, who never protected you the way you should be protected. Wallahi, my sisters, forgive us. Forgive us. And for the men who are watching this, man up. Because wallahi, you may think this won't affect you. Maybe right now you don't have kids. But maybe one day you might have a daughter, a niece. And maybe then it might affect you. So wake up. My Muslim brothers as well. Wake up. It's about time men started behaving like men. And they had gira, protective jealousy, over their women, over their Muslim sisters. Because wallahi, our Muslim sisters are the backbone of this ummah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.